checking some players into some different roles, and 3 of the players on this power play are all new players. You've got Stajan. You've also got Corley, who's back on the point. And this guy, Hagner, he's good distribution of the puck. He's good on his forehand and backhand. He slides one across, Stajan right.
Cold enough for you? There's no more meatloaf. Fish is frozen, factory battered square pieces. Don't even look like fish. You won't like it. I'll give you a second. Take your time.
How's the burger?
Frozen, but Doobie's on tonight, so it'll be fine.
I'll get that.
Do you want the combo, fries and coleslaw? Doobie, burger, works! Works?
Yeah.
Works! That's it?
And a bottle of blue, please.
Wait. You drink that coffee down first, Sergeant. Then we'll see about the beer.
Sir John Franklin's school. The city needs a few more heroes to name things after up here. What did this guy do to deserve all the hero worship? Probably discovered one of the diamond mines up north or something. In the States he might have been a military man, but not here. Canadian heroes are scientists or successful businessmen, not soldiers or politicians. Or cops.
I suppose I could build a nest here. This old blanket should keep me warm till they come for me. Kenny will eventually notice I'm missing and come for me too. I hope. Why, it's a camping lantern. Almost like the one Dad used when we all went camping. Before Mom passed away. The cold sucks the heat out of everything here. Fonzie told us that. I should have known better. Someone would miss me, won't they? Kenny will come, or maybe Trevor. Perhaps Perhaps not Trevor, he only thinks about himself, but surely someone will wonder where I am and can find me. Oh my god. No! I feel as if I can't breathe. What's happening to me? Kenny. Oh, Kenny, I can't breathe.
Good evening, and welcome to Late Night Reading with anonymous Centennial College students. What book are we going to read tonight? One of my favorites, Darkness at the Stroke of Noon. Let's read from one of my favorite excerpts. There were 3 vehicles in the parking lot, an industrial white van, its doors decorated with AEI's polar bear logo and the word security beside it. A dark BMW 5 Series that Ruby imagined was Dickerson's, and parked away from the other 2, barely visible in the shadow of the building, was a mud-spattered black Toyota Camry. Ruby heard the door latch click open as she approached. Through the glass, she could see the silhouette of a slope-shuttered security guard, slumped behind the reception desk in a dimly lit lobby. It took her a moment to realize he wanted to check her ID card. The guard shrugged and returned to his long night of sitting as Ruby climbed the stairs in the fluorescent glare of exit signs reflecting off unfinished concrete walls and metal plaques, advising of fire escape routes and smoking commands. When she reached the 5th floor, she pushed open the heavy metal door to a carpeted hallway. Ruby heard male voices coming down from the corridor, where light spilled from a glass-walled office onto gray industrial carpet. She thought she recognized Dickerson's voice, even though it seemed more strained, with more tenor than she'd heard it before. And she should know what the hell the situation is, Norm. We can't send her to hell and gone with a shopping list she doesn't understand, for Christ's sake. She's smarter than that. Let her hear the tape. She needs to know the lay of the land. The tilt of the jib. Know what I mean? Sure you do. Jill Bugger really finally struck gold. God damn it, we have to act on it now. The bass voice rumbled a sentence or two. Jesus, we don't have anyone else. Bennington's in fucking Denmark, Norm. Carl's in Moscow on a Lomonosov thing. And I can't ask Starovic to leave the Alaska conference in the middle of the goddamned. Wow, she's still listening. What an eavesdropper. Well, I think you're wrong, damn it. Hate to pull rank, but there it is, Norm. She'll be here any second, so what do? Do we just tell her to escort Nizer and nothing else? Just let her fly blind? Let her babysit him all the way home without knowing what the fuck he's holding, and hope he just keeps his goddamn mouth shut and doesn't pack it in his fucking carry-on or cargo shorts for the pleasure of Homeland Security? Jesus, Norm, no. It struck Ruby that she should back up and leave, just walk away and pretend to ignore what she'd heard. Though that was impossible, like a judge asking a jury to ignore the testimony rolled out of order. Besides, she'd already been announced by the guard downstairs. By using the stairs, her rival hadn't been tipped by the chiming of the elevator. As the bass voice rumbled again, Ruby walked towards the light, coughing to proclaim her presence, calling out in the dark corridor. Hello? Hello? Is anybody here? Well, that was boring. Let's flip to another excerpt. It's a lot more interesting than that one. Here we go. The storm shook the shed again. Standing in front of the wood stove, Mary Claire felt above her head and found a handle. She opened the door that swung down and felt inside. Something seemed to scuttle, and she screamed like a young girl, unheard in the storm. There were some papers, newspapers maybe. She could smell them, old and dry and nauseous dust. In her mind, they were brown, steeped in the tea of time. She moved her mitts to the right, where they struck a rectangular box. Her heart leapt as she realized it contained a barbecue lighter. Shivering, lighter held high, she turned away. She cried out, a guttural moan, as a pale circle of light revealed the ragged rictus of Dr. Karl Conrad Neiser, chin pressed tight to his chest, unseeing eyes staring into hers, his bearded jaw wrenched off by us in a mute mask of unquestionable death. Well, that was great. If you want to read the rest of it, I recommend going out to buy it. Darkness at the stroke of noon.
Hi, would you like some coffee?
Oh, yes, please.
Oh, hi, would you like some coffee?
Why, sure. This isn't fresh. You're a hard man to get a hold of, Inspector. Tried you at your house and on your cell.
But I'm not at home, as you can see, and it seems that I left my cell phone there. What's the rush anyways? I'm in a strange city, I'm banned from bars, and I'm on suspension. Seems that the only pleasure I really get is coming into this art gallery and not answering my phone.
And you do off suspension, Sergeant.
Now, Inspector, if I remember correctly, it was you that put me on suspension in the first place. How exactly did you find out where I am?
I'm a cop, Sergeant, just like you.
Fair enough.
One of the clerks down at the station said that you enjoyed this place.
Now that's interesting, because I don't know any clerks yet. It just must be my personal magnetism.
It's a small town, Sergeant. People tend to know what other people are doing.
Who knows that you're speaking right now to the man you suspended last week?
No one. Although, you can bet that Sue has spread it around town.
Who's Sue? You mean Brenda?
Sue. Susan O'Sullivan. Lives with Eddie, the LE trucker down on Frame Lake Road.
Then why does she have a name tag with the name Brenda on it?
Keeps the hustlers away, maybe. You know, those lonely guys that have nothing better to do. Camouflage, I guess. She's not married. And anyone who would mess with Sue would have to deal with Eddie. Eddie's a mean son of a bitch, even when he's not drunk.
Ms. Cruz, good evening.
This is Norman Fernandez.
A new paralegal Eagles, and Norm here is one of our top international security guys. What was it, 6 languages?
5.
So, Ruben, you don't mind if I call you that, right? Here at AEI, AEI is operating in several parts of the Arctic now. Our goal is to provide our partners with good representation. That's not as simple as it sounds. See, sometimes we extend these advantages to operations that aren't within our list of partners. When this occurs, it can be a delicate and clandestine situation.
What do you mean?
Ms. Cruz, our priority is that we are sensitive of some of the actions that our clients are taking place in the area where political opposition is not within our jurisdiction.
You mean other countries?
When it's deemed necessary, certain representatives are called upon in other projects to further our knowledge base.
Spies.
You mean spies. You have corporate agents working on other people's projects.
Well.
In foreign countries, correct?
Well, Miss Cruz, please. This business is global, and certain valuable items beneath the poles have become attainable. Now, access to these areas is vital to their security as well as ours.
Please get to the point.
There's an employee working in an archaeological site in the Arctic. We need him back here so that we can give him the credit he deserves. That's where you come in. You will bring him back.
Why can't he come back himself?
His name is Dr. Neeser. For the past 8 years, we funded his project, and we gave him the tools and resources he needed to delve into the Franklin expedition. Have you heard of it?
What's he looking for? Wouldn't it be Canadian anyway?
Well, yes, but see, it's not just what's in the ground that's important. Franklin's expedition took place 20 years before Canada was even a country. Now, there's no proof that he used the Northwest Passage, but they vanished altogether, so there's no proof that they didn't.
So how does Neeser fit in?
See, the ice caps are melting. That means for business and shipping companies, potentially saving billions of dollars every year, because the Northwest Passage has shrank by thousands of miles. It's an especially sweet deal for America.
Unless Canada denies access.
Right, or if we prove superior sovereignty over the passage.
Your Franklin expedition.
Exactly. See, we think Neeser found something that we could use as evidence in this case. We can dispute Canada's sovereignty over the passage, or at least make it international.
Or if it's solely Canadian, we can rub it out altogether.
Sure, then.
How can I help you, Inspector?
Thank you, Sergeant Kennison. I'm in a bind. I've got 7 men on a course up north. The rest are assigned to the annual dog derby running in town this weekend. I've got no one that I can bring in either from the north or the south to help out.
It's about time, Inspector. I feel like I've been kept in the closet like it's some secret Christmas present.
Sergeant, look, this is a low-profile job, okay? Straight in and out. I got a message from the constable we've got stationed up at Ross. It says here that there was a fire about 200 miles away from Ross. 2 dead, non-natives. She thinks they were visiting scientists and that this was some sort of accident, but she can't get away to investigate. The DVs are having their annual rah-rah parade about sovereignty, and there's substantiated rumors about a Turkovic protest or something going on. You know, I can't let her leave Ross, so I have to send you. Just go in, write it up, report back to me. That's it, in and out.
Turkovic?
Native group, Inuit mostly, land rights and all that, but Jensen's worried that they might start turning to extremes soon. That's why I need you, someone experienced, to go in and sift through the ashes, find out what's going on, talk to the colleagues of the 2 dead people, but I need you to do this subtly. Don't ring any bells with people here, in Ottawa, anywhere, alright? Just stay out of fights, bars, especially the slime. There's people who would...
Full pay restored?
Yeah. Retroactive. It takes place next pay period.
A written apology from the chief superintendent?
Not a fucking chance, boyo. Put him through, Donnie.
Signal's lousy, Mr. Dickerson.
Just put him through, Donnie, now! Okay. Is that you, Dr. Kneisser?
Hello? This is Carl Conrad Kneisser. Hello?
It's me, Keith Dickerson. Is that you, Dr. Kneisser? Can you hear me?
Yes. If I move... can you hear me better?
Much better. Where are you, Carl? Are you still at the site?
Yeah, I'm using the satellite telephone from the site. The batteries are low and I have not much time.
Are you okay? Shouldn't you be on your way back by now?
Yeah, we're packing up the site. I have news, that's why I called. Big news.
What kind of news, Carl?
I have found a journal here, and book, a diary.
Just a moment, Carl. Let me write this down.
Fernandez here.
Get in here, Norm. It's Kneisser. From the dig, he's found something. Okay, shoot. What have you found? Is it one of the ship's records? Is it Franklin's journal? It's better than that. It's a crew member's diary full of things no officer would record. Murder, cannibalism. Cannibalism? Yeah, it's priceless, my friend. It will ensure the name of Carl Conrad Kneisser is forever remembered. Sure, Carl. Happy for you. Norm Fernandez is here. How does this diary help us? This is without question the most important archaeological and anthropological discovery of modern times. This is the solution for one of the greatest mysteries of the last 3 centuries.
Oh, we're happy for you, Carl, but listen to me. We haven't been paying you this whole time so you can become famous. You know damn well what we're after.
Dr. Kneisser, Norm Fernandez here. Do you have this journal with you?
Yeah, I do.
Hey, who else knows you found this?
My assistant, nobody else. This Masterson suspects, I think, just as I suspect him. The rest? 9. Carl, does this journal prove Franklin completed the Northwest Passage? Carl, are you there? Come in, damn it! Shit!
The signal seems to have ended, sir.
Donnie, is that you? Have you been listening? For Christ's sake!
Oh, but I didn't know I shouldn't be, sir.
God, Jesus, Norm, he's heard fucking everything.
I write in some haste as we prepare to weigh anchor tomorrow and sail to Arctic shores. I wrongly presumed I'd have more time to watch these proceedings, to record my observations for future publication perhaps, but much of the past week I have been staying out of the way, overseeing my small part of this expedition to discover the elusive Northwest Passage to the Orient. There's anxiety in the air today, as if departing an hour or a day late will alter the course of history. Perhaps it will, or perhaps it's just the seaman's sullen response to the gruff demeanor of Commander Sir John Franklin. Franklin looks older to me than his 59 years, but that may be due to a portly mane that transforms a naval strut into his ungainly waddle. Lady Jane Franklin points and frowns more than most. She has a rather detached smile, yet, to my eye, is maintained with unflickering radiance in the presence of Sir John Burrough, even when she hangs on her husband's arm. I have heard from a quartermaster that upwards of 8,000 tins of meat, vegetables, and soup were ordered from Golden's in London as recently as the 1st of this month. Perhaps that alone explains the concern of the senior staff, and gives me hope that it is not regarding the safety of the ships.
Monteith.
Sergeant Candace, good to see you again. Right this way, please.
So how have you been lately?
I've been good. I hear that Constantino is trying to get rid of me, huh?
He can try as hard as he likes, but he's not going to get rid of me this easily.
I suppose that's true.
So who do we got stuck up on that icebound island?
Oh, we have the camp chief, Masterson. I'm not sure what his name is, and his Inuit cook Lillian, and her grandson, yeah, and a boy from Calgary. I don't know his name. And there's also Anne Double something British. She's a British scientist, and the Patel, the Indian guy, the helper. He is there too. Anyway, shall we get in the plane? It's chilly as fuck out here. McLean, she is my woman. She is Betty. There's room for two inside Betty, if you know what I mean.
So, Monteith, what else can you tell me about these people?
Well, we have Dr. Neisser. He was the head of the dig. He was a genius in his own way, but not an easy man to get along with. We also had Mary Claire, the blonde with...
You called in this accident, Mr. Masterson?
It's Paul.
Beg your pardon?
Paul. Call me Paul.
You reported this accident.
Yes, I did. It's my responsibility. The fire occurred midday yesterday, give or take half an hour. Snowstorms are usually pretty bad this time of season. It's Sergeant. But this one rattled the bloody place. Once the weather cleared, the shed had burned down. It was full of flammables, sir.
Sergeant.
Sergeant, then. Propane, kerosene. There was even wood that was shipped in 1 or 2 years ago.
You discovered the bodies.
I rushed down there, soon as the ice storm cleared out. Smelt it first, truth be told.
How do you know who the dead were?
Simple head count. Sergeant, process of elimination. Elementary, my dear boy. Just like Penleek the Eskimo boy. But he's always missing in action. Bloody shooting. Hear him? Put a pal on us. No matter the relationships, aren't always the friendliest around here. There's a lot of pressure on us, I have to tell you. And soon it's going to start freezing. I'd like to be out of here as soon as possible, Sergeant. Tomorrow at the latest. Can't tell you enough how important that is.
So, have you informed the police?
On the satellite phone. Battery operated. I called Ross Haven first. Then I got in contact with one of your constables, Miss Jameson. I think she calls you guys blokes. I don't know.
Did you call anyone else?
Yeah, I did. It's part of my job. They make them list their next of kin. For insurance purposes. Name, numbers, closest relatives, in case of emergency. That sort of thing.
And?
Well, the batteries were low. Still on the poor side, I can tell you. I called the number on the girl's record first. But there was just one of those answering machines. Office something. I left a message.
You left a message about the accident and that it was fatal. So you left that message on the answering machine.
Man, like, what's going on, man? Like, aren't you, yeah. How's it out there, man? You know, from outside, you know what I mean?
What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck are you doing here? Where the fuck have you been? Where the fuck have you been? What, do you think this is the fucking bulletin? Me and Monk have been out there all day cleaning the fucking bathrooms, cleaning the fucking showers, cleaning the fucking shitters. Where the fuck have you been? Have you been out there? Playing what, Eskimo? Eskimo Hunter? Is that what you've been doing? Like, what the fuck? You've been out there in the rocks? Like, hunting? What are you doing? What the fuck? Hunting Inuits? I don't know. What the fuck? Fuck. What do you think this is? Today, after lunch, you're cleaning the whole thing your fucking self. Fucking bloody bullets. Fucking boyo! That's how it is! Close the jizzling door, fucking idiot.
From the Arctic Exploration Institute in Washington. It's in Maryland. I've come to escort Dr. Conrad Neeson home.
That would be difficult.
And why is that?
Dr. Nazier is dead.
Oh shit! Oh god damn it all to hell! Shit!
Well, it seems like we have two bodies, male, female, cooked from the inside out.
Looks like we missed the barbecue, eh? Let's see what we got here.
Oh, it's so cold, Kensington.
A little patience, Ruby. Everything takes time. Just have a little patience. Everything will be done. You just need a little patience. Alright?
Kensing, my pen just froze.
Ruby, I can't do everything. Go to the car and get a pencil. It will work.
Fine.
The factual books, mostly explorations and the history of great ships, are arranged alphabetically by the surnames of the primary explorers. The system... Oh, shit. Do that again. I wasn't doing it right. Okay, ready?
Yeah, we're keep going.
The factual books, Mostly explorations and the history of great ships are arranged alphabetically by the surnames of the primary explorers. Back, Barrow, Franklin, Ross, and so on. Or the class of vessel should ordnance be the issue. The system works, as I spent many hours setting myself logistical problems and solving them until I am pleased with the consistency of the search path. When we stop to resupply the ships, I shall share the system with L on Erebus, who, if I know his ways and passion for order, has already invented a cataloging system of his own.
Can I help you, miss?
Hi, I'm Ruby Cruz. We work for AEI together. I just thought I'd come by and chat.
If we're being polite, then move. No, I don't work for those fools. I was hired solely by Dr. Neisser. Is there something else?
So what was Dr. Neisser like?
Vain, egotistical, argumentative. A fool, ultimately. Naive in a lot of ways.
So you could say he was married to his job then?
He didn't do anything else. Didn't even groom, for the most part. No sense of much of anything. Good scientist, but that was it. Science, ego, no room for anything else.
Was he good at his job?
Yeah, he was the best. That was the one thing that made taking this job bearable. Made it a must, in fact. If you can deal with him, it was a great thing for the resume.
So what were you and Dr. Neisser researching?
You don't know? Do you honestly not know? The bones that Anne's been turning up. That's the entire point of this. All we found. If you look at them, really look at them, you'll see the knife marks. That's what this is about. The bones, someone cut the meat off.
There was cannibalism here?
Seems to be. It's the only explanation for that.
So the crew was eating each other?
That's the popular theory, the one that's been put forward for the most part.
You don't agree?
Well, now that we're finally talking about me, no, I don't. The evidence doesn't support that, and there's a better theory. The natives, the Inuit, were following them. We know they were hoping to trade food. We know they needed food. They were desperate. It makes the most sense that they simply found them and took what they needed from them themselves.
Did Dr. Neisser agree with you on that?
He knows I'm right. Knew I'm right. And I can prove it, too.
How? How can you prove something like that?
Well, that would be telling, my dear.
Who's that? Who's there?
It's me, Kennison.
Oh.
Can I talk to you in your tent for a minute?
Sure.
So, what's a kid like you doing up here anyways?
Well, I'm from a small town outside of Calgary, but I got into a lot of trouble there.
What kind of trouble are we talking here?
drugs and getting into fights, things like that. So I ended up in a halfway house, and they thought it'd be good for me to come up here and work. I do a lot of stuff in the kitchen, just helping clean and cook, but every once in a while I get to help out with the dig, and that's pretty cool.
So that means you must have worked with Nicer.
Occasionally, yes. He seemed to like me a lot because I was so passionate about what I was doing.
Do you remember anything strange happening leading up to Dr. Nicer's death?
Not stranger than usual. He was kind of hard to get along with, and everybody made fun of him behind his back, calling him names like geezer and stuff, but I don't know. He seemed to be acting like he knew something, or something was going on.
And what about Mary?
We were friends. Well, she used to talk about starting a new life, going to school, getting a good education, good job. Sounded very good.
You seem kind of sad talking about her.
Well, to tell you the truth, I guess we were more than good friends. We were lovers, and we always talked about starting a new life together, going to school and making something of ourselves. But all that's kind of gone now.
Did anything strange happen before she died?
Well, nothing out of the ordinary. Her and Nicer, they both went on about things that regular people wouldn't care about or even understand, you know, like bones and knife marks and I don't know, things like that.
Are you sure this is all you know?
Yeah.
Well, if you remember anything else, you know where I am.
Okay.
By the way, can you get me one of those heaters?
Yeah, sure. Should be no problem.
Thanks. It's getting a little cold out here.
We are icebound on a dot of land called Beachy Island. As friendly as the captain seemed in Davis Strait, he has not been so since, responding curtly when I asked him to announce the beginning of classes, promising writing implements and to date not providing them. He says we shall remain here until spring, when the ice breaks up. He says it as if it's his decision and not inevitable, like the encroaching ice and immeasurable darkness. Perhaps he has more on his mind than I know, despite our being stranded here with nothing more to do than what officers invent to combat boredom. My classes are ill-attended, but not without their gratifications. A few men are willing to admit they cannot read or write, and are using these idle days to improve their lot. I encourage those who appear in my classroom to casual others into attending, but I am met by blank stares and averted eyes, as if the act of learning carries some stigma of which I am not aware. Below decks, Beals and his coterie seem to feel illiteracy as some natural state bestowed upon man by God, and hence superior in its purity to scholarship. Despite the lack of learners, I apply myself to the education of those who appear, despite coughs and complaints of illnesses ranging from nausea to pissing purple. Christmastide. We are cozy and warm, well-fed and entertained. I reflect on what Beals has said. He tells tales of Franklin's past Arctic expeditions, one 24 years ago in which inexperience led to a lack of food supplies. Rumors of madness and eating the flesh of men were staunch, and Franklin's ineptitude overlooked. Beals tells the story well, as if he was there, and perhaps he was. Tonight's skit had a man I shall not name playing Sir J.F., pillows stuffed in his trouser front, his walk alone enough to identify the man. From one side of the mess to the other he waddles, tugging at some imaginary jewel round his neck, instructed by another wearing a swab mop as a wig. She speaks telling the man what he must do, as he orders the few under his command to go in different directions. Shakespeare it is not, however, and given their obvious enjoyment of ribaldry as theatre, I am of mind to introduce them to one of his lighter works. There seems a shared unity in insubordination, an attitude for which no great experience is required. I shall succeed in this. Love's labour's lost, perhaps.
Tell me what you're digging for here, Doctor.
We're looking for irrefutable evidence against cannibalism, Sergeant. It's until 20 years ago, there was only 130 years of unsubstantiated rumor. It's only since the 1980s that scientific proof of Franklin expedition cannibalism has been established.
What kind of proof? What can scientifically prove that men ate other men?
Well, murder, for a start, Sergeant. You're familiar with that. An anthropologist named Beatty discovered cut marks on a femur on the south shore of this island. That's a thigh bone, Sergeant. The skull of the man had been intentionally broken. He'd been killed by another.
That's it?
There was an inordinate number of similar bones on site, Sergeant. Limb bones, which have the most flesh and marrow. Your Beatty suspected that it might be food supply for starving men.
You say he only suspected they may be food. Plus the so-called cut marks could have been animal teeth.
We're scientists, not novelists, not storytellers. I would have thought your vocation would have respected evidence over conjecture. A high percentage of the bones of the cuts were close to the joints. The cut marks made by sharp blades, Sergeant, not animal teeth, further suggest the removal of flesh. I can be more specific if you're cognizant to Latin terms for skeletal components.
You've made your point, Doctor.
Further, the breaking in half of what we might classify as long bones suggests cannibalism. The rupture allows access to the marrow inside those bones.
Who pays for all this? The camp, the food, the staff?
A group of like-minded institutions at home in the United Kingdom, under the umbrella of the International Franklin Expedition Consortium, the IFEC.
What do you know about Dr. Neeser?
He was a well-published scholar, German originally, attached to a small American college in Dakota, or Montana, or some northern state, probably Emeritus by now, I should think.
Emeritus?
An academic kindness, Sergeant, meaning retired. It doesn't mean you're better, it's just that you're no longer a thorn in the side of the administration. It's the necropolis to which we are all condemned.
Yellowknife just called. They found a bullet through Nelson's brain. However, they do not believe a gunshot was the cause of death. Apparently, he was murdered by someone slitting his throat from behind with an Inuit knife. A right-handed person. Guess who the only right-handed suspect is? Dr. Ferguson Crew? You!
you okay, Miss Cruz?
Thanks to you. That was an experience.
Yeah, well, it was Lillian's idea.
I think you saved my life, Sergeant. I remember trying to get out of the wind. I remember being cold, but I don't remember. Did you see the knife of whatever it is?
Yeah, it's covered in blood, but I don't know whose.
It was right below a rock. Sort of a seat that I'm guessing was Neezer's. Near his tent platform. Blood all over the rock, too.
Why are you here, Miss Cruz?
I think you can probably call me Ruby now.
Okay, why are you here, Ruby?
Neezer found something. Something he thought extremely valuable. He called Keith Dickerson, my employer, my boss, to tell him about it. They played me a tape of the call. Dickerson and a man named Fernandez, security type, sent me here to get Neezer and whatever he found, to bring him back. Make sure he brought his treasure to the people who paid him to find it. We didn't know. I didn't know he was dead until I got here. My people still don't know. I should call...
What is it, Ruby? What did Nestor find?
A book. In Butch, Neezer said. A journal. A diary type of a thing. Neezer was excited by it. And I got the impression he wasn't excited by much. My employer wants it back badly.
Why?
It's a northwest passage. The sea lanes through the ice up are here. AEI wants to prove that the passage was discovered before Canada was a country, so that Canada can't claim ownership of a waterway established by international powers. Or
what?
Or they want to destroy any evidence that proves otherwise.
Who else knows about this journal?
You tell me, Sergeant. I've been trying to find out. Maybe no one but Neezer knew.
And whoever slit his throat with this knife. Someone here, or maybe Turkovic, if they've been here that long. A book that I have. A book that is mine. A book that's important to me. Someone's taken it. They have no right. They...
Ask Mr. Patel, why don't you? He took it.
Sit down, Mr. Patel. Miss Cruz, please come in and check these men for weapons. Talk, Mr. Masterson. Tell me the story.
He sold to me, rather owed me. Fair and f***ing square. I owned it, fair and f***ing square.
Calm down. Sit down, both of you. Mr. Patel, explain now.
Well, it is true that I owed him a lot of money, so I had to trade it.
So you gave him this missing book to cancel the debt? Then where is it now?
I found this book while I was digging, but all I found was bones, skins, and hair. I couldn't find anything else.
Nothing else? Then
No.
what's this? Talk!
I didn't mention it because I thought it was irrelevant, and I thought no one would ever find it.
Irrelevant? So where is it now?
A girl named Anne. She took the book because I asked her to. Thieving bastard!
Calm down! Mr. Masterson, let go of Mr. Patel. So, Mr. Patel, did you kill Dr. Nesser?
Shit, he got away. Thieving bastard, I'll get him. No need. Huh? We have these. We'll track him.
Really? Hello?
Hello?
Hello, this is Sergeant Kinnison.
Sergeant Kennison? This is Inspector Duchesne. It's about damn time you contacted us. What's taking you so long?
The sat phone's been down, sir. I'm running low on daylight and fuel. I had to siphon from Krevlik's Cessna.
Damn. Listen, Kennison. Dr. Jills is here. She wants to speak to you.
Hello, Sergeant Kennison.
Yes, Dr. Gilles, I hear you.
Great. Listen, I finished the autopsy of Dr. Nizer and the frontier woman. The cause of death wasn't the bullet fired into the left front quadrant of the skull. The bullet entered after death. Nizer's throat was slit from ear to ear. Nearly severed his head.
Tell the inspector I have the weapon. It's an Inuit knife called an ulu.
Kennison says he has the weapon.
Excellent.
I think I may have the perp.
Pardon?
I know who killed Dr. Nizer. His name was Trevor Patel. He was Nizer's assistant. Can you tell me if he was killed in the shack?
Not at this moment, no.
Is there any news on the girl?
She died in the fire, roughly 23 hours after Nizer by my count.
Can I speak to Duchesne?
Kennison, good job nailing the perp. Is he in custody?
Not yet, sir. I have reason to believe the Turk Vicar in the area. There's at least 3 of them and they're heavily armed. One of them with a military-issue C7. They're out there, sir. And they're after something. Something we have.
So, Ferguson, Dr. Nizer was murdered.
I'm sorry to hear that. I didn't know.
Have you ever had any problems with Dr. Nizer?
No.
Can you tell me why he was involved in the project?
He was the project. He had the funding.
Are you aware of him having any relationships with other members in the group?
No, of course not.
Can you tell me what he was searching for?
The same thing we were all searching for, Franklin's grave.
Do you think that's why he was murdered?
That's a good question.
I hope that bastard runs.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me. I wasn't the only one who killed him. It wasn't me. No, it wasn't me.
What does that mean, Mr. Patel?
I dropped the knife, okay? And then someone turned off the lights. So someone turned off the lights. I went looking for the knife because I dropped it. And then all I heard was bang, bang, rifle shot coming out of nowhere. And then I seen Nizer roll off the seat. That's what killed him. It wasn't the knife. It was a rifle shot.
Go on.
I cut him with the knife, okay? You know, like, I cut him with the knife, but, you know, I did that to shut him up. You know, I didn't mean to do it. I just, you know, I admit it. I tried to shut him up, but, you know, I didn't mean to kill him. I rolled his body into the car trunk and drove to the shore shack. And then from there, I hope somebody would find him there, seeing there's bullet wounds in him. And, no, you can't prove it was the knife that killed him. Can't.
Did you see who shot the bullet? Who?
To be honest, there was like 3 or 4 people there. Okay, they were in like black hoods and it was dark. I couldn't see their faces. It was, I just seen their outline. So I seen them and then I seen this 4th guy, the guy at the very end. He had like a gun. I could see the gun pistol in his hand, and they all looked like house robbers and like ready to like go up in something. And I just seen the gun on him.
Did you know the one with the gun?
Wayne Penelick. Wayne Penelick had the gun. Wayne Penelick shot Dr. Nizer.
What? Kill him if he moves. He's a lying piece of shit.
No!
Look, there's his car. Monk's gotta be here somewhere. Monk!
Monk's over there!
Oh no! I think he's gone. He's gone. Go back right up there. Let's go.
I'm heading to the compound now. Over.
Alright, once more, everyone. If you see anything or even think you see anything, shout it out and shoot at it. There's no harm in being wrong. The harm is not letting other people know or letting others get hurt. Got it?
Roger, Kennison.
Masterson?
I'm standing right here. I got it.
Then say so. Yes, Lillian?
There's a fire here, too. It looks like it's up near.
Each torch the equipment stalls.
Roger.
I'll be right there, Ruby. Stay here. Don't stare at the flames. It's a diversion. We'll check it out.
Good work, Pop. Keep an eye out on that side. There's tons of them. My father would spend a bundle and we...
Shut the fuck up, Patel. Nobody gives a shit about anything your father did besides fuck up his children.
What about you, Lillian? You have any bonfires?
Nah, no wood here.
No wood?
Okay, here. What?
Alright. Keep watch. Don't move. Lillian?
What's up, man?
Paul?
He's shot! I'm hit!
Keep watch, everyone. There's still one out there. What's up? Alright, keep watch, number one. Everybody look in the eastern direction.
Ruby, see anybody? Yeah, I think I see a shadow over there.
How's Grand?
She's okay. Her wrists are sore from the yellow rope. I've loosened them, but she won't get away. Have you been to Epcot?
Me? I've been there a few times.
Me too, with my daughter and her daughter Simone. There are many countries side by side around this big blue lake. And each country is made up to look like another country sees it, but none of it is real. None of it is true. Even the blue of the lake is added to the water.
I know what you mean, but it's just an entertainment thing.
It makes other places jokes, not nations. Takes away people's pride. We saw there how people think of Canada and the Arctic. Only ice and snow, Nanook of the North, stupid Inuit eating snow and seals. It's all lies.
The only reason Canada still has this shit piece of fur, because no one else wants this. But still looks what's happening around. Why Miss Cruz is here. At Masterson. Are they showing their interest in Canadian sovereign land? What about Sergeant Kennison? Canadian has interest in Arctic. Can't you see everyone else wants something?
Quiet.
Oh my God! Stop them! No. Stop them! No! Oh my God! It's Simone who cook. She shares my name. Are you going to take care of Wayne's body?
I'll take his body to Russ.
Thank you, Mountie. Protect their land.
Wake up! Wake up! I'm going after them.
No, don't. She got nowhere to run.
I think she does. You want her alive, right? Take care of Masterson.
Ow. You alright?
Right as rain, Captain. Hurts like hell.
You ever been shot before?
Oh, no.
Listen, that buggy's going for the bloody Cessna. We gotta go after them.
Go where?
After them, after the people. We gotta chase them down.
Christ, Sergeant. You serious?
She's with the wind. She's gonna have to turn.
Bastard! She sure knows how to fly.
Let's get her.
She's turning back. Why is she turning back? She's out of control. Yes! Got you, you fucking biker!
If the ice that once held Franklin in the shits for 2 summers doesn't kill Ann Ferguson and Patel, the cold will.